How many of you are right where you wanted to be when you started out as an adult in your life and said, I got a plan? How many of you are right where you wanted to be? Raise your hand. Okay, that's like 5%. How many of you are not where you wanted to be when you started out? Okay, that's almost everybody. Would you agree with the statement that life gets in the way? If there's one theme that I get from people more than anything, it's that I had a plan and life got in the way. I was going to do this someday. But then you go look on your calendar and there's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, some days not on there. You look and it's just not in there. But what if I told you that I could help give you an edge in your life that would give you a second bite at the apple? And let me tell you why that's important. I have talked to so many people that spent their life working for what they did not want. And that's why I'm doing this series that I was telling y'all about on my podcast, Fill in the Blanks, called Living by Design. Because I think we should live on purpose. And I want you to figure out who you are and how you got there. Have you ever asked yourself how you got to be the person you are as you sit there in that chair right now today? If I handed out pieces of paper right now, how many of you think you could write down your definition of success with great detail? Wow, that's less than 10% of you could write down what success is in your life in great detail. Is that surprising to you? I've spent my life studying people that are champions. And you ask them, what is success? A lot of people say, oh, I don't want to talk about it, I'll jinx myself. Not these people. These people say, oh, I can tell you exactly what it is. I can tell you what I'm going to be wearing. I can tell you what it's going to smell like in the room. I can tell you who's going to be there. They can define it with such detail. It's like a laser bomb. Zzz, boom, they know exactly what they're after. And I'm devoting this week's entire podcast to showing you how you can design your life. And it starts this whole series. So you guys all got your phones out, right? All right, go to your calendar, and I want you to go to 1 year from today and circle that. Because 1 year from now, I want you to remember us having this conversation. 1 year from today, your life is going to be better or worse than it is today. And a big part of whether it's going to be better or worse is a function of the choices you're going to make between now and then. And here's the problem. Once I've said this to you, you cannot not choose. Because not choosing is a choice. Now, the first thing you need to do is examine how you're looking at yourself and talking to yourself. I shared a personal story from my childhood on my podcast about the moment I realized how important that is. Take a look at this. We had a football game rain out when I was like 12 years old. And the Salvation Army calls. And they say to our coach, look, we've got a team over here. We don't get to play all that much. Could we come over and play a scrimmage game with you on Monday? And the coach says, well, sure, of course we will. So these guys pull up from the Salvation Army in like 3 pickup trucks. Nothing matches. They don't have jerseys. And the kid that lines up across from me, he's got on a button-up shirt for a jersey. And the number on the shirt is 4, and it's on in masking tape. Now, I'll tell you how snotty we were. We're in the huddle back there and saying, why didn't he do it in magic marker? Well, he didn't do it in magic marker because that was his shirt. He had to wear that to school the next day. So, I mean, we've got all this fancy uniforms and equipment. We're thinking we're so bad. And here's this ragtag team. Number 4 lined up across from me. And I got to tell you, when they snapped that ball, that kid hit me so hard, it still hurts when it rains. They beat us like they were clapping for a barn dance. We probably got beat 50-0. And right there, that moment, I became envious of those kids from the Salvation Army. I thought, I want what they have. If they can do so much with so little, how much should I be able to do with so much? If you want to hear more, you can download my podcast, and trust me, there's a lot of information there you don't want to miss. Here's how to subscribe. You search Fill in the Blanks on your favorite podcast app, and you can subscribe for free. Then make sure you listen and enjoy. And remember, when this date pops up next year, your life is going to be better or worse than it was today. So let's make sure that it's better. Do that. Don't just be reactive.